going, guys? So instead of making something that requires partners or making videos that requires any kind of sparring tuition, I thought I'd make a couple of videos in regards to stance, to posture, to form. So we're going to basically work from the ground up, all right? So for those of you guys who have just hit the bag or hit the pads and don't really know how to stand or how to develop a bit of punching power from where you stand upright, we're going to go over how to pretty much stand before you throw any kind of punch, all right? Now, the way we were taught was to have your feet together, take a half step back, turn out, bend the knees, arms up, drop down, and that's your stance, okay? Now, it's all well and good and it's all very textbook, but stance is very personal, all right? It differentiates between styles and differentiates between height of boxers, or it has a lot of variables is what I'm trying to say. So what we want to go through today is how to stand in order to remain balanced, composed, and develop a lot of power without throwing yourself in a compromisable position, okay? Now, first of all, when we shape up, our feet aren't much wider than shoulder width apart, okay? Now that's gonna change over the course of your sparring or how you hit the bag. You're gonna step in, step out, but you really wanna step back into this position to allow proper balance, proper suspension, and proper ability to move from that position. And what I mean by that is that if you always bring yourself back to here, you've got a better chance of being able to move from there than any other position, okay? Now, bringing yourself about shoulder width apart, okay, is generally a good rule of thumb. Your front foot wants to turn inward a little bit, just to allow yourself not to fall in. When you straighten your front foot and you point it forward, you got a better chance of tipping over that front knee and that inclination to lean in when you punch. Your back foot wants to be turned out just a little bit as well. So essentially you want to be looking at about 2:30 and 12:30 or 1 o'clock, okay? Your knees, you want a slight bend, all right? But you don't want a stiff knee and you don't want to squat, okay? Just a small bend. What this helps with is tipping over your front hip, tipping back over that back hip, moving, bracing for shots, and a whole plethora of other things that are going to help you later on when you spar or when you fight, okay? So 12:30, 1 o'clock, Australian Eastern Standard Time, 2:30, 3 o'clock with that back hip, okay? Now, your knees are bent. Where do your hips sit? You don't want to stay too vertical, all right? If you have your knees bent, you're staying directly upright. That's going to compromise how you take shots. It's going to compromise how you deliver shots. You want to stick your butt out a little bit, how that looks from behind. You're sitting down somewhat, yeah? So you're in that position here, your knees are bent. You're pushing your butt back just a little bit, okay? That allows you to sit back, deliver shots with a bit more power, and take shots on a little bit easier. So your hips are in place, your knees are bent. How do you hold your hands? A lot of people have a closed guard, a lot of people have an open guard, some people are in between. Depends on what your fighting style or what your fighting preferences lack, okay? For the point of this demonstration, or for the point of this video, we're going to get you to have both hands as close to your chin as possible, all right? Number one rule of boxing, protect yourself at all times, okay? Right hand sits right close to your chin, elbows are flush with your body. Your right shoulder isn't too shrugged, okay? Just sits comfortably down. Your left hand, right close to your chin, or a little bit further out. Don't turn it in as much as you are pointing it on that bit of a slant, okay? So, feet, shoulder width, toes pointed outward, knees bent, hips back, hands up, one close to your chin, one a little bit out. Your shoulders, do you sit with a bit more shrug traps or are you nice and relaxed? You're nice and relaxed, good pick. Nice and relaxed, hands are up. Now, a lot of you might roll forward a little bit. That's only natural. A lot of boxing is very front dominant, very anterior dominant. It's important to engage the shoulders just a little bit. So when you punch, you're not rounded forward, you're engaged back a little bit. So my shoulders are pulled back, not to the point where I'm standing upright like this, but I'm engaged a little bit. So my posture is up. From this position, you want to address your chin, okay? You don't point your chin up. You don't look too far down so you can't see your opponent. You want to tuck it in a little bit without shrugging, without rolling in. shoulders back, shoulders relaxed, chin down, hands up. And that's a basic stance that you can adopt prior to doing any bag work, any pad work. It's a really good starting position for anyone who hasn't really held a good form with their lower body, or who can't really gauge how to step or where to step from. That's a great position to start from, and a great position to end on as well. You maintain balance, you maintain posture, and you maintain ability to be able to deliver something really from any position if you return back to that spot there. So stay tuned for the next one. We'll go over a couple more drills from there on.